What's up, agents? Welcome back to the channel. It's D Werewolf Gaming, and I'm back again with another Division 2 video. Alright, I hope everyone has been doing well and staying safe. Today, guys, I got an amazing build to showcase. I really do enjoy using this build, and I think you will too, especially if you're new to this game. With that being said, today's video will focus on the hybrid build. And you know, if you aren't familiar with hybrid builds, guys, basically you'll be doing a good bit of damage with your weapons and your skills as well. Recently, there was a new gear set released in Division 2, Year 6, and that gear set was called a Refractor gear set. Amazing gear set, guys. Not only can you deal out good damage, but you will also be healing your teammates as well. Really enjoy using that gear set. Gameplay, guys, you will see that I will be doing a pretty good weapon damage. On top of that, my skills will be doing pretty good as well. Now, during the gameplay, the first part of this video, guys, I am using the Lexington, just to show you a little bit of gameplay with the Lexington. But shortly after that, we will, after I go over the build breakdown, I will show you the rest of the gameplay, guys, and I will change to using the St. Elmo's engine, and I will also change out the skill as well, because like I said, this is a hybrid build. With that being said, I do want to give a big thank you to everyone that continues to support me on my channel, especially those who always have something positive to say, guys. Really appreciate each and every one of you for your value time and continued support, and giving those thumbs up as well really helps push the content. One thing I do want to say that is that anytime I show you these builds, guys, these are just templates, things that I'm using in my game. You never have to use what I'm using, guys, because at the end of the day, we all are different. We play this game differently, and I enjoy a variety of different builds, and I'm showing you what I'm using, and I will just give you that template, and that is it.
Have eyes on Wilson.
One weapon we did use was the St. Elmo's engine. Really enjoyed the assault rifle, guys, because of the talent, but as you can see, the core stats are fully maxed out. Well, core attributes are fully maxed out. I do have a weapon expertise of 30% on this weapon, and that third attribute, which is the 10% damage to target out of cover, can be re-rolled to whatever attribute you prefer. The weapon handling on this weapon is amazing. Accuracy is good with the stability, with a pretty fast reload time as well. The talent that comes in this gun is called Action S, and shooting an enemy with this weapon will give 1 stack. At 100 stacks, the next magazine will be 100% filled with shock ammo. So that's just amazing, guys, for crowd control. The mods that do come is a 15% critical hit damage, 30 rounds plus 10% weapon handling, and a 15% critical hit chance mod. Like I said, guys, in the gameplay, I was using the Lexington in the very beginning, and we'll go over that really quickly, and you will be able to obtain the Lexington tomorrow during the stretch goal event. But the primary thing about the Lexington that stands out is that core, total damage core is higher than other weapons, but overall it's just an amazing weapon. As you can see, this is at a weapon expertise of 30% as well, with the core attributes being fully maxed out. And again, that third attribute is damage to target out of cover. All right, the talent that I did put on this gun is called Killer. And killing an enemy with the critical hits grants 70% critical hit damage for 10 seconds. So it has to be critical hits, guys. But the mods I do have is 5% critical hit chance mods plus 15% increase in rounds. For the secondary weapon, we did go with the ACS-12 shotgun, which is the name version of rock and roll. So if you don't have the name version, just use whatever ACS-12, because we are using the Striker's gear set. And this gives you the option of building up your stacks if you need to very quickly. The talent that comes in this gun is called Perfectly Extra, and it basically boosts your magazine capacity by 50%. The mods I do have is a 10% critical hit damage and a 5% critical hit chance mod. All right, guys, so we did go with the 4-piece Striker's battle gear set, which 2 pieces gives you 15% increase in weapon handling, 3 pieces gives you 15% increase in rate of fire, and we have on all 4 pieces, you get Striker's Gamble. And as long as you keep firing on those enemies, you're building up stacks. Up to 100 stacks, guys. Each shot is registered as 0.65% increase in weapon damage. When you have 100 stacks, you'll be at 65% increase in weapon damage. 1 stack is lost between 0 and 50 stacks, and 2 stacks are lost between 50 and 100. As you can see, that core attribute, guys, I do have a skill tier. In the middle attributes, we're just going for either critical hit chance or critical hit damage. I mentioned this in previous videos. Whenever I form, guys, I like to form for the pieces with the attributes already being critical hit chance or critical hit damage. That way I can change the core attribute to whatever I prefer. For the chest piece, guys, we did wear 1-piece Seska, which gives us 8% increase in critical hit chance, The core attribute is a weapon damage core, with the middle attributes again being either critical hit chance or critical hit damage. The talent I do have on this chest piece is called Ability Rate, and critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1%. This stacks up to 20 times, so basically get up to 20 stacks. That is 20% increase in weapon damage, but it does have to be registered as critical hits. All right, for the holster, it is the second piece of the striker gear set. We did have a core attribute being a skill tier with a 12% critical hit damage attribute. For the knee pads, guys, it is the third piece of the striker's battle gear. We did have a weapon damage core for the core attribute with a 6% critical hit chance attribute. All right, and for the gloves, it was the fourth piece of the striker set. We did have an armor core for the core attribute with a 12% critical hit damage attribute. All right, for the backpack, we did use the Memento, guys, great in all builds. Primarily because it comes with 3 cores. You get a weapon core, a armor, and a skill tier. The talent that comes on this backpack is called Kill Confirm. Basically, kill those enemies, guys. They drop trophies. Picking up the trophies gives you benefits, short and long term, depending on the number of cores you have. So for each red, you're getting 5% increase in weapon damage. Each blue, you're getting 10% in bonus armor. And each yellow, you're getting 5% increase in skill efficiency. For every trophy collected, you get an additional plus 1% increase in weapon damage and skill efficiency. On top of that, 0.1% armor regeneration for 300 seconds. When you get all stacks, you have 30% increase in weapon damage, skill efficiency with 3% armor regen. Overall, amazing backpack. Still the best exotic gear piece in my opinion because it comes with 3 cores. It gives you offensive, utility, and defensive benefits. Just amazing, guys. Now, as you can see, I do have the shock trap equipped. Because, guys, I did, like I said, during the second half of the gameplay, I will change up my skills some. Shock trap, guys, trap those enemies to be able to help you manage those enemies, especially when they're trying to flank you. Overall, amazing, but you could have used any skill you preferred in your gameplay. You will see in the second part that I did use the shock trap a good bit. The striker drone, guys, primarily to draw aggro and also do a little bit of damage as well. I do want to mention that the shield will work great as well, because that way you could have got up a little bit more close and build up those striker stacks a lot faster, not worry about taking so much damage. So that was another option as well. Now, as you can see, no modifiers were used in my gameplay, and the global event was turned off as well. So that way, if you watch this video later on, you will see that none of that was used in the gameplay. 57% increase in critical hit chance with 120% critical hit damage when using the St. Elmo's engine. All right, let's take a look at the armor. On this build, guys, this build was pretty squishy. We were sitting right there at 1,166,157 armor with 116,616 armor back on the kill. It does show 0 armor regeneration, but keep in mind when you get your stacks from Memento, your 30 stacks, you will have 3% armor regen. Overall, amazing build, guys. Really enjoy using this build. If you haven't tried it out, I do recommend you trying it out. This build can work in group or solo, so I definitely recommend you give it a try. All right, here's a look at the weapon stats when using the Lexington. As you can see, the critical hit chance was still the same. We did lose a little bit of critical hit damage, went down to 105%. And like I said, guys, in this build, you could have used any weapon you prefer. You did not have to use the St. Elmo's engine or even the Lexington. These were just the weapons that I felt these weapons handled pretty good, so I enjoy using these weapons. And again, with the skills as well, you could have went with any skills you prefer, such as the turret, because in the gameplay, I did use the turret some as well. And as you can see, we're sitting right there at tier 3 on our skills. All right, we did go with the gunner specialization. And keep in mind, every third reload is 50% faster. Killing the enemy, you do gain increasing rate of fire by 5% for 5 seconds. On top of that, you generate 10% of ammo capacity every 60 seconds. And party members will receive 5% of that. And one last thing is, don't forget to equip the correct weapon element to get your bonus and 15% increase in weapon damage. Now, the technician class would have worked great as well, because it would have gave you an additional skill tier, so that would have put you up to 4 skill tiers. So keep that in mind, guys. All right, but always use whatever skills you prefer. One last thing I do want to point out, guys, is that my weapon expertise was 30%. I would have showed you this build without having any weapon expertise if possible. Your watch level is at least 1,000. You will be doing the base damage, depending on whatever weapon expertise level you have on your weapons. So keep that in mind when you're playing through this content. With that being said, we're going to finish out the rest of this mission, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, thank you for your valuable time and continued support. D Werewolf out.
elevator that should take you to the mall. Wilson is still by the entrance. We've spotted a mortar team with him. These are probably the fuckers who attacked the castle.
Hostile forces incoming. Contaminated area. DC-62 toxin detected. Contamination level lethal.
What the hell? These readings are insane. They must have a lab nearby for weaponizing this shit. Make sure you put it out of operation. Send in a team to dismantle the rest of that crap once you clear the site.
contaminated area.
Don't let Wilson get away.
No more contacts. Great work. Wilson's unit is out of action, and you've crippled True Sun's chemical warfare efforts. Also, Kelso just reported in to confirm the survivors from the castle settlement have safely reached the rooftop settlement. There's no one doing what happened to them, but at least you've made sure it won't happen to anyone else.